If you're fascinated by gruesome royal deaths, Tudor history, and chilling tales of power and decay, this is one story you cannot miss. The winter of 1547 hung heavy over England. Inside the vast chambers of Whitehall Palace, silence cloaked the corridors. Guards whispered, servants trembled. For behind closed doors, the King of England, Henry VIII, lay dying. Once celebrated as Europe's golden prince, he was now a bloated mass of flesh, his body consumed by rot. The air in his chambers was thick with the stench of decay, where herbs and incense failed to mask the foul odor of death. This is the horrifying end of Henry VIII, England's rotting king. In his youth, Henry had been glorious, tall, broad-shouldered, handsome, and strong. He dazzled courts with his jousts, music, and charm. But years of feasting, wine, and endless banquets destroyed him. A jousting accident in 1536 left him crippled, his leg torn open and never fully healed. That wound festered, turning into a permanent ulcer, an oozing sore that reeked of pus and infection. From there, his health declined into a slow-motion nightmare. By his final years, Henry weighed nearly 400 pounds. He could barely move without mechanical hoists. His skin was pale and blotched, his legs grotesquely swollen and bandaged, leaking fluids that made servants gag as they cleaned him. The smell clung to him wherever he went. Courtiers described it as sickly sweet, like rotting meat in the summer sun. By early January 1547, Henry VIII's body was failing entirely. He drifted in and out of feverish consciousness. His breath was shallow, rattling in his chest. His physicians whispered of gout, heart disease, and infection, but dared not speak these words in front of him. Servants tiptoed through his chamber, the silence broken only by his moans of pain and the scratching of rats in the palace walls. When priests approached him to prepare his soul, Henry grew restless. He refused to confront death directly. Some chroniclers claim his last words were chilling. "Monks! Monks! Monks!" A ghostly echo of the monasteries he had destroyed. The candlelight flickered on his bloated face, and the room stank of sweat, blood, and decay. On the night of January 28th, Henry breathed his last. The once mighty king was gone. But Henry's horror did not end there. His enormous corpse was so swollen it barely fit into his coffin. As it was carried to Windsor for burial, the weight of his decaying body split the coffin open. At Sion Abbey, where the coffin rested overnight, a grotesque scene unfolded. Putrid fluid seeped from the casket, pooling on the stone floor. The stench filled the air. And in the morning, witnesses reported that dogs were found licking at the blood and gore that had spilled from the king's body. To many, this was divine punishment, a fitting judgment for the man who had broken with Rome, dissolved monasteries, and sent countless to their deaths. Henry VIII had dreamed of a magnificent tomb, a golden resting place that would rival the greatest kings of Christendom, but it was never built. Instead, he was lowered into a simple vault at St. George's Chapel, Windsor, beside Jane Seymour, the wife who gave him the son he so desperately craved. The great King of England, who had commanded armies, torn apart the Catholic Church, and reshaped a nation, was reduced to a leaking coffin and a rotting corpse. The death of Henry VIII is more than the fall of a monarch. It is a reminder of the fragility of human power. No matter how vast the crown, how rich the treasury, or how fierce the reputation, time, decay, and death come for all. Henry VIII's end was not noble, not glorious, but grotesque. The king who once struck fear across Europe died broken, bloated, and consumed by his own body. This was the horrible death of Henry VIII. If you found this story haunting, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps keep these dark tales of history alive.